Look, Ravi, you're saying there is an ocean of peace. I have looked within and I have no sign of it, right? I got up this morning, looked in the mirror. I don't see no ocean of peace within, right? You're you're just making this up. You're 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 selling me snake oil, right? There is no ocean of peace. Excuse me. And let me tell you, my spouse has no ocean of peace. So I could be salvaged, but I promise you. And he goes, even a Ravi cannot argue against that.
I really enjoy you. I have to tell you, I have a blast with you. I loved our conversation. I told my wife when I got off the phone, I said, I feel like Robbie's my new best friend. I said, I have a blast with him. I really, really like him. And you really got skills, by the way, of putting things together for YouTube and that. You got to teach me someday.
Yes, that video, I really love the way it has come out. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is thanks to you. You're just amazing.
Thank you, Louie. Thank you for your feedback and for your positivity. It is so wonderful.
Well, this is about Ravi again. Right back at you. I'm going to say this is right all about you and your work. And I'm honored to have back on Louie Be Free radio show, Ravi Kathuria. Again, folks, had him on a few weeks back, and we talked about his incredible book, Happy Soul, Hungry Mind, a modern day parable about spirituality. And I love the top says, wake up to realize the universe's most amazing gift. And you are just you're a nice guy. You're a fun guy. You've got a great sense of humor. I was saying, I hope you don't mind, Ravi, but our discussion that we had when we were chatting off air on the phone the other day, you're vibrant. I have a blast with you. I really, really, really enjoy you as a human.
Louie, the same year, you have such positive energy about you. Your questions are so valuable. I mean, thank you for going through the book. And I love the passages and the paragraphs in the book that you highlight. It tells me a lot about you. So
I've got it all marked up. Your book is all marked up.
It is amazing the things that you're picking up and you're choosing to highlight. I am so thankful to you for hosting me the first time and then inviting me back again today. Thank you, Louie.
I hope you don't get to the point where you get tired of me asking you to come back, because
no.
seriously, I'm already thinking of the third show. If I can be a conduit for the information that you bring, if I can be a conduit between you and my audience, and their lives become enriched, become better, yes. They feel better, they're doing better,
yes.
Their outlook is better, they're in touch, spiritually, they're in touch with their soul better, then that's a wonderful thing for me. If I can be the conduit between you and my audience, I have a hard time with compliments. I'm doing a good job. I'm doing the right thing. I'll say I'm doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing. And we all, we are here. Every one of us is here to support each other. I'm here to help your audience. Your audience and you are here to help me, right? Because when we all of us who thrive on positive energy, and then we hang around with other people who have positive energy, we become stronger, our lives become more fulfilled. So Louie, I am at your beck and call. You call me and I will show up. I have no choice. I talk about the universe in the book. You are my universe. So if you demand, I have to show. I have no choice.
I will politely ask. I'll never demand. I will politely ask, because again, the response that I had from your last visit, when people get that, I'm going to call it that aha moment, that realization. Yes. It's like, where so many things are out there that are overcomplicated, or there's a reason that someone, I don't want to go too far out on this, but when I think about, with someone that only through me you can get the answers. You've got to keep, as opposed to here's the toolkit.
Yeah.
You're on your own. You've got it. Here it is. Here's the book, Happy Soul, Hungry Mind.
Yes.
I love that about, and when people get that, pick up on it and have those, again, that aha, that recognition, the realization, it's like, wow, I get it now. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, yes. And thank you for bringing that up. We have, humanity over the ages have gotten this message that you have to do, you have to be perfect to make spiritual progress. And I'm here to say and share that spirituality is yours. It already is there with you. And so you do not have to listen to anybody else judge you. You don't have to allow yourself to be judged by anybody else. If you focus on making spiritual progress, it will arrive. It is there in you. It will, it's like if you go to the gym and you start working out, you will start developing muscles. Now, on the way to the gym, there may be 10 people who stand and criticize you and say, look, you're never going to develop muscles. You're never going to become fit. And, and they can keep talking, and that's all right. But it can never change the fact that if you exercise, and it doesn't have to be at the gym, you can exercise at home. If you begin exercising, you will become fit. Now, you have to be a little careful so you don't over exercise and hurt yourself. But if you do it in a normal way, your body will respond. That is nature. That is what the universe, that is what nature has given you. That ability to build you and make a fit body is there in you. It exists. It doesn't matter what anybody says or how anybody judges. Makes no difference. It's the same with spirituality. It is there in you. It is there in all of us. And we can all make simple progress towards spirituality. It is, I feel so good when I think about that, because it truly unites all of us together. It brings everyone together and says, we are all part of the spiritual umbrella. It doesn't matter which religion we follow, doesn't matter if we follow a religion. You could be an atheist, I could be religious, and we are still under the spiritual umbrella. How amazing is this? The whole world, 7 billion of us, have spiritual ability. Can you imagine that? Just think about what transformation we can bring about in this world if all of us begin to understand that spirituality is simple and it is available to us 24/7.
Beautiful. You're a beautiful human. You are. HappySoulHungryMind.com. I want to talk a little bit more about your journey, if you will. A little bit more. We touched on it last time.
Yes.
And again, there's information up at our website about it. But a little bit more about your journey, Ravi, if you don't mind.
Yes. And I am an ordinary man. I'm an ordinary guy living.
You're not an. I'm going to stop. You are an extraordinary guy. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I appreciate you saying that, Louie. But really, I'm an ordinary guy. I wake up in the morning. I have my own problems. I have my own stress and anxiety that I have to deal with. I have 2 businesses to run. I have to work on this. But, I am living a routine life, right? I have a family. I have a mortgage to pay. I have to take the car to get its oil change done, right? My point is, I am not living in the Himalayas. I am not living in a monastery and telling others how life should be. I am living this life like, the majority of the population on earth is living. Because we have always heard that if you want spirituality, then you have to be in the Himalayas, or you have to be in a monastery, you have to be celibate, you have to do this, you have to do that, right? We've heard of all of those things. My quest, and I say this in the book, I say this on my videos, my quest is to attain spiritual progress while I am living this simple life. And I have realized, you talk about my journey. I was spiritual since I was young, but I said this the last time, is that I blinked my eyes. I was 20 years old. I was young. I was handsome. And I blinked my eyes, and here I am 30 years later, right? 30 years went by so fast.
Yeah.
And I go, excuse me, what happened here? Right? Um, but when I look at the 30 years and I go, I had the life that I had for the last 50 years. I'm 53, getting ready to be 54 soon.
How
I've
soon?
had
How soon? How soon?
how soon? March 12th.
March 12th.
Yes. So 1 week from tomorrow.
Okay.
Um, so I turn 54 March 12th. And so I look at my life and I go, I've had a lot of ups and downs in life. I mean, when you have your own business, then any business person can understand. Actually, it doesn't matter. Even I work for corporate America, and corporate America is not an easy place to survive, right? And so you have your ups and downs in life. Now, those I would have gone through those ups and downs, but as I look back at it and I say, look, Ravi, you knew about spirituality when you were 14 and 15. You were already inclined towards that. If you, Ravi, now I'm talking to myself, right? It may sound a little weird, but I like to talk to myself in the third person, right? Because it's this out of objective uh, assessment of yourself. And I say, look, Ravi, if you had spent your 50 years or 30 years, once you became a teenager and you understood stuff, if you had practiced more spirituality, if you had paid more attention to being peaceful, this very life of yours, Ravi, could have been so much more golden. You would have still gone through the vagaries of life. You would have still gone through the roller coaster and the tensions and pressures. But if you had focused more time and more conscious efforts towards the inner peace that is in you, your life would have been so much better. And so that awakening, that realization is very important for me. And that's really why I had to take a pause in my life 5 years ago, because I was back in this rat race, right? I could have
Yeah.
focused more on my business, and I like to make money. I will admit that.
And you're successful with your business. Your business.
Yes. And so I could have spent more time and grown my business and started a project. But I realized is that I could go out and over the next 20, 30 years, I read articles which says, I hope I'm right on this, Warren Buffett started when he was 50, and then by 80 he is, has now worth $80 billion or whatever that amount is that I could begin to do that, right? I could say, all right, I think in my own assessment and in objective way, I think I have $1 billion idea that I can develop this project, and it will generate $1 billion. But I have to trade that. I have to give 20 years of my life. I'm not going to be able to generate $1 billion in 2 months or even 2 years. I probably have to give my next 20 years to generate $1 billion. Now think about that. I would be 74 and I have $1 billion in the bank, right? My life expectancy that I would assign myself at that point would be between 10 to 20 years, right? But I don't, if you're 95,
Yeah.
my point is I have all that money, and I would have gone through again this life of tension and stress and anxiety and pushing. But what have I given up? What is the price that I have paid for it? And the price, the commodity that I'm paying to earn that $1 billion is my life. There is nothing more precious than my life, and we all understand that. It's amazing that I can pick anybody off the street and I said, do you realize your life is the most precious thing you have? They go, of course, duh. Tell me something I don't know. Why did you stop me? right? And yet life is so precious. And I say, what are you about to do? Where are you going? And he or she says, I'm in this rat race because I'm constantly trying to do something, either because my mind is forcing me to do it or my family or friends, right? I'm living this this rat race, and I'm really overlooking the most precious aspect of life. So the gist of what I felt, it's not as if we need to stop making money. There is no problem in earning $1 billion. If you have the capability to earn $1 billion, then absolutely, by all means, you should earn $1 billion. But what you should not do is pay the price of not having your peace of mind. Whether you are earning $1 billion or whether you are $1 billion in debt, I hope nobody's $1 billion in debt, right? Please, I would never wish you, right? It doesn't matter. The real, the real valuable asset that we all need to have is our peace of mind and reveling in that peace every day. You say, yes, I have to go out and work on generating that $1 billion or that $10,000 or that $100,000, whatever. Depends on what profession we are and depends on what skill we have. It doesn't matter. The amount doesn't matter. And the work we do doesn't matter. But what we have to remember is that we every day must connect with the peace within. And if we do that, then this life, think of this life, see, if I gave you a cheesecake and the cheesecake had less sugar in it, you go, excuse me, Ravi, this is something missing in here, right? There's something missing in here. I give you a milkshake, it doesn't have sugar in it. And you go, okay. Or I give you food that doesn't have, it's not salted properly. You go, there is something missing. Or I give you a beautiful picture, but the colors are not vibrant. When we begin to experience the peace within, the colors of life become richer. The taste of life become richer. The relationships that you are in become richer. So I created two companies, and I have a consulting and executive coaching firm. But I didn't have to travel. I mean, I chose not to travel. I like the concept of being available for my family. So my travel was limited. I didn't really pick clients that were out of Houston that much. Occasionally, I did. Um, so as I can remember, in the 30 years, I have had majority of my dinners with my family on our dining table. Okay, so I was there physically. The problem is, I might as well have been in Philadelphia or New York or San Francisco because I was not there mentally. I was sitting and having dinner, thinking about my business challenges, my business issues. And that is what most of us do. We're having dinner, but our thoughts are somewhere else. We are not experiencing that food. We are not experiencing those relationships. And if you do not experience, so many of us are blessed to have a nice family. So many of us are struggling, but many of us have good family and we have good relationships, and yet we are not truly relishing it because we are going through life in this little frenzy, right? We're not stopping and saying, I need to look at my family and relish them. So what I will share this. Um, I shared this with a lot of people who have young kids, especially because those of us who have older kids will agree that kids grow up very fast. So people who have younger kids, I give them a tip, a suggestion. I say, Go into the room where your kids are playing and stand by the door. Stand by the door. Do not interrupt them. Do not talk to them. Just watch the kids for 30 seconds. You don't have to wait there for an hour. Watch the kids for 30 seconds and register that memory in your mind. We have cameras and camcorders and we record memories on electronic media, but the memories recorded in our own mind become the strongest. Then memories that we have been deliberate about recording. And then you begin to string these pearls of memories, and your life becomes richer because 20 years later, you will remember your daughter, you will remember your young son, you will have that image in you, and it will give you a lot of peace. So we all have to relish life. We all have to stop and relish life. And you could be really busy. You could be a busy executive working in Manhattan, but no matter how busy you are, you could be CEO of Citibank. I don't care. You've got 30 seconds to look at your family and register that memory. Every one of us does, right? And you can register all the good aspects of your life and remind yourself of that. It is a reminder for us to relish our life. We living in the United States, we live in the most powerful, most rich country in the world. If we go and tell somebody who is living in a poor country who doesn't have much money and say, well, I am suffering from so much stress and anxiety.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That thing, we're so ungrateful, right? I mean, I cannot blame them if they would judge us and they say, excuse me, why do you have stress and anxiety?
Yeah.
Do you have to work? Do you have to walk 10 miles to fetch water? I go, no. Do you have to sleep on a ground which has stones on it? No. Do you have to be afraid of a wild animal hunting you down in the night? You go, no. They say, well, what is your stress? You said, maybe you don't get enough food. You say, no, I can go to a grocery store and I have all the food. They say, why are you having stress and anxiety? It'd be very difficult for us to communicate that to someone who has very little means. We have all the comforts, and yet stress and anxiety steal, rob us of our own life. And so these realizations is what I am coming to, as I'm saying, I have to live a better life, and I want to share that. There is a way for us to live a better life, because that peace that exists within us is available to us 24/7. We just need to learn to connect with it. And then life can become so much better. It will start improving. And the challenges that we face in life, we'll be able to face them a little better. We're not going to get beaten down so much. We're all going to get beaten down. Sometimes life can be excruciating. I get beaten down, and then I return back to my place of peace, and I connect with my peace, and then I wake up and I go, that's a bad situation, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. Right? And that is what we need to do. We need to connect with our peace. And that really is my journey. I have written this book to share, to take out all these layers that people have put on spirituality and made it complicated and complex, and they have confused it with religion, and they have made it so difficult. I wanted to make it very simple and tell everyone on earth, this is yours. This is yours since the day you were born. Connect with it and live a far more beautiful life. Why not take advantage? It's like every one of us is walking around carrying $1 billion in our pocket. And yet we are going around scrounging up some money, never tapping into that $1 billion that is there with us already. And that is ours. Why not exercise what you already have? That's the most beautiful thing. And it's a reminder that I need to give to myself every day. I'm in the same journey like everyone else. I need to remind myself to be peaceful. I need to remind myself and say, life will throw curveballs at us. And it's okay. That is the purpose of life, to throw curveballs. But if I connect with my peace, if I feel my peace, then I will deal with life better and I will enjoy and relish life better. My mind will slow down where I will be able to look out the window and say, oh, it's such a beautiful day outside, and relish that and register that. That is the journey I'm on, and that is all I want to share with everyone. And I sincerely believe that it can help everyone. It doesn't matter what your situation, this message can help everyone on earth. We all have it. How beautiful is that?
How beautiful is that? And then, folks, you see why I love this guy. That's a beautiful message, Ravi. And again, a wake up for us when you say that about, one of the things you said about the choices that you made to be with your family. You want dinner with your family. Your choices that you make to have that, and then to recognize it, and then to get that in our mind, like you say about videotaping, but it's the to imprint on our minds the positives, correct?
Yes. Yes. No, it is amazing. We are, life is the most precious thing that we have, and yet we mistreat our own life. We overlook it. We are not giving it the importance, right? We're chasing things. And like I said, it's okay to pursue a career, it's okay to build a business, it's okay
Sure.
to make money. But what you never do is you do that at the cost of your own peace. And if all of us reminded ourselves of that and say, my number one priority is my inner peace, then the rest of our life falls into place. Then the rest of the life, then we find, we talk about there are so many articles written about work life balance. Really, it's about prioritization. Do you prioritize your own peace? Because if you prioritize your own peace, then the rest of your life will fit together. It will all come together. The puzzles, you will fit it. And sometimes I coach CEOs, I coach executives, I coach business owners, and they're so confused about their priorities. And I tell them, why are you in business? And they look at me and they go, you're not very smart, are you, Ravi? I say, why do you say that? They say, it's obvious, I'm in business to make money. And I go, okay. I said, there is a million ways to make money. Why are you in this business? And I see the color on their face leave, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Because they have not thought about that. Is why am I in this business? Now, this is a very difficult conversation to have. It seems like a very simple question. I was talking to a group of CEOs and franchise owners, and a man, after I'd spoken, he came to me. This is just a 30-minute talk. He came to me and said, you know what, Ravi? I hate the business I am in. It's making good money, but I just hate it. I don't like it. And I had not quite realized that until I heard you speak. And I actually I felt bad. I felt bad because This man had just realized how much he needed to change his life, and I could see how overwhelmed he felt. It's not easy to walk away from a business and a franchise that was making money, but it was not something that he had his heart in it. It's not something he was enjoying. He was making money, but he was spending his life. And we all have to understand that we have a deep yearning within us. Everything that we do in life, we have to we have to calm down and think about, what do I want? Because the mind says, do this, do this, do this, do that. You will listen to parents, you will listen to friends, you will read something up and say, oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. But there is a deep yearning within you. Connect with that. Calm down so you can hear that deep voice within and say, this is what my life needs to be about. And then work on everything that you do in life. This is a litmus test that I ask people to think about. Whatever you're doing in life, does it make you more peaceful or does it make you less peaceful? Because if it makes you less peaceful, that is a big price to pay. Choose the activities that make you more peaceful, because then those activities, so which are the activities which would make you more peaceful? Those that are in congruence, that are in the same frequency of your deeper yearnings, your deeper desires. And then life will start becoming golden, because you will see life through a different perspective. You will not see life in this fabricated plastic manner in which you are driving yourself crazy and you say, look, I'm doing all of this, but I do not feel content. And we need to wake up. We need to wake up. There is nothing more precious that you have than your own life. Please do not live a misdirected life because you have some notions. Just calm down. The answers will come. Just calm down and connect with your peace, and then you will begin to see what you need to do, what makes you more peaceful.
It's beautiful, Ravi. That's absolutely beautiful. The website Hungry Soul, happysoulhungrymind.com, happysoulhungrymind.com. Would urge you. We've got links up. And Ravi Kathuria is my guest on Brain Food from the Heartland, the Louie Be Free radio show. When you say that, it makes me think of, when people, yes, in that race to go where, where are they going? When you touch that,
Yes.
get that piece, and everybody's got challenges. Again, when people would say, well, that's ideal, well, he's successful, well, he's got, but everybody, you never know what's going on with
Yes.
someone else.
Yes.
You look at people, you don't see the pain that they may have,
Yes.
or someone
Yes.
may have just had a bad medical
Yes.
diagnosis, or the dog,
Yes.
found out their dog died, their cat's ill, or something, or the job, or economic issues. Doesn't preclude finding that peace. And then you're saying, like, answers, things open up for you. Ravi, am I
Yes.
making any sense?
Yes. No, absolutely. You look at, who was I forget her name, the lady who was a billionaire who had, I think, a business of making women's handbags and other accessories, right? I think she was worth $1.7 billion. Had a husband and kids. I don't remember the details exactly, but this happened maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and she killed herself. Right now, we are all the rest of us are wanting $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
Here is somebody who has it. Now, I don't know if she had medical issues or if there was dissatisfaction with life. But there are so many cases that we hear about celebrities, right? We heard about Anthony Bourdain, so successful.
Yes.
And I don't know what mental issues he had. And so um, but the fact is, if we do not have that peace of mind, then we can be in the best of situations and we still want to leave that situation. right?
Yeah, that was a good example, the Anthony Bourdain, where most people would say, I wish I had his life. I wish I had his life. He gets to
Yes,
travel the world. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. I actually made a video on YouTube. I said, do not wish for someone else's life.
Life. That's
To your
beautiful.
point, Louis, do not wish for
Wish for
someone
someone
else's
else's
life
life.
because you do not
You don't
know
know.
what they are going through. I remember one day I came home. My wife drove me home, and my car was standing outside my house. And so usually I come home in my own car. I like my car; it's standing outside my house,
Yeah.
right? And I see my house, and I say, "Oh my God, the man living in this house driving that car must be so happy. He must be so lucky." And I said, anybody driving by would think that about me, but they have no
They don't know.
clue as to my struggles and my stresses and my anxieties, right? So what we see on the surface, you look at movie stars,
Sure.
and we are living in this YouTube age where movie stars are happy to showcase their homes, lifestyles of the rich and famous. Well, we shouldn't be watching lifestyles of rich and
Rich
famous
and
because
famous.
all it does is makes us less peaceful.
Yeah.
Think about that,
That's one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
right? Think about
Yeah.
that. You watch somebody else's beautiful home on Palm Beach and you say, this is such an incredible
Yeah.
house. Guess what it does? It gives you joy for a certain minute, but then it makes you feel a little deficient. So you
Anxious.
say,
Yeah.
okay, why am I watching that? Why am I paying with my peace? It's a big price you're paying. And then you have no clue because they show this movie star and they say the movie star has three
Yeah.
homes like this,
Yeah.
not just one home.
One. Yeah.
They
I
have
mean,
three homes.
yeah, with 10 bedrooms and 15 bathrooms and
Yes.
whatever.
And they lived in that house for 2 weeks in the year.
Yeah.
But we have no idea what that movie star is going through. Movie stars, I write about this in my book, just a little paragraph on about how much chronic stress they suffer because when their movies start failing, the biggest movie star, when they have three movies fail in a row, talk to them and see the self-doubt that they begin to develop. And you go, well, you're a woman with $100 million or man with $100 million, and so three movies failed. So what? But suddenly they begin to lose their confidence and they get irritated with life. I've read accounts of movie stars who have depression because they are afraid that they're going to stop getting the adulation. People are stopped, movie business is like any other business. If you're successful, you're successful. The day your movies start bombing, producers stop calling. And you're alone now, lonely, because nobody is looking up to you. Nobody's in movie business, people come and go so fast. We look at the big stars, but we have no idea the next year down how many people come and go. Everyone in life has challenges. Everyone. It doesn't matter how much money they have. It doesn't matter how much success we have. We see only on the outside. So for us to wish for somebody else's life, guess what? When we do that, we pay a very expensive price of our own peace. We need to accomplish things in life. We need to pursue success in life. We need to pursue a good living. But it has to be centered by our own self peace. Then life is golden. Then it doesn't matter whether you have $100 million or you have $1,000 because you're coming from your own peace. That life is the most beautiful life. And you are then living. Yeah, you are then living.
So beautifully said, Ravi. Again, you're just incredible. HappySoulHungryMind.com. HappySoulHungryMind.com. And I've there's so many things I want to address. Are you okay if we go a little bit longer? It's
Yes,
almost the
sir.
top of
Yes,
the
sir.
hour.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
have to ID at the top of the hour, and then we're going to go a little bit long today because it's too important. And I want to. There's a couple of other things I want to address. When you mentioned that about the housewives, the shows, and all of that, and I get concerned about some of the culture today with
Yes.
social media
Yes.
and the Kardashians, for an example.
Yes.
And again, I
Yes.
don't know them personally. They may be very, very nice,
Yes.
generous, wonderful,
Yes.
spiritual people. I don't know,
Yes.
but I
Yes.
will tell you something. And I've told this story a number of times on air. I had an aunt that died a few years back, and at 99 years old, by the way. And she was in a nursing home. She was having some early dementia or Alzheimer's issues, but she had always watched the news and always wanted to talk with me about politics and the news. And it was, I didn't have a good relationship with her growing up, but
Yes.
later in life, a wonderful relationship.
Yes.
I walked into her room. I'd go see her every day after the show. And she said, Louis, she said, I'm upset. And I said, I could see that. I said, what's going on? She said, I'm watching the news. And she said, I hear the name the Kardashian, or I hear the Kardashians. She said, and I don't know why they're on the news. Again, she
Yes.
always wanted to know the
Yes.
news. Try
Yes.
explaining to someone that's got a little bit of dementia or just some brain processing issues.
Yes.
Explain to someone, like if somebody came here from another planet, tell
Yes.
them why the Kardashians are so popular.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
why were they newsworthy? Yet when we
Yes.
hear the terms like that, or someone wants to be an influencer or
Yes.
and become wealthy for, I'm not sure why, and you want that life, or you strive for those riches without looking at the riches within. And
Yes.
again, am I making any sense? It's like,
No, absolutely, Louis. You bring up a great point, and it connects with what we talked about. You talked about the Housewives show. I haven't really watched it a whole lot, uh, so I don't know a whole lot. But the few minutes that I have watched, obviously these are very affluent
yeah, look at
women,
the
affluent
things they have.
families.
Yeah,
Because they're talking about their husband going on buying a yacht and
yeah,
stuff like that, or buying a jet. And then they're discussing how unhappy they are, and I'm making this example up, on the type of jet that they bought, that the husband bought, or the wife bought, or the jewelry that she bought, right? And the show is about women who are complaining and fighting about and feeling unhappy about their relationships. And then we're watching that. Now, I hope the producers of Housewives don't call me. But, or if they did, this is what I would suggest, is that, so many people, it's a popular show. Why don't you start making the show a little bit more positive, so people find something good that makes them more peaceful, right? Through the messaging of the show. As opposed to, you watch people who are complaining constantly, guess what is going to happen? That impression that is going to leave on you is about complaining and is about being dissatisfied with life, even when you have all the riches in the world. Our attitude, our perspective on life really determines the quality of our life. When we connect with the peace within, our quality of life changes, even though the circumstance of our life has not changed.
with my very special guest, Ravi Kathuria. Again, I can't urge you enough to get the book, read the book, go to the website, Happy Soul, Hungry Mind. That connection and we all can make it. Talk a little bit about that about that connection. You're talking about, we all need to do it. We all
Yes.
need to connect easier than others would want to let you believe or make you believe.
Yes.
They want to
Yes.
make things more complex as opposed
Yes.
to more
Yes.
direct.
Yes. There is within us, within all of us, there is an ocean of peace. Now, I shared this in a video. If you're listening to that, you say, well, look, Ravi, you're saying there is an ocean of peace. I have looked within and I have no sign of it, right? I got up this morning, looked in the mirror. I don't see no ocean of peace within, right? You're you're just making this up. you're 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 selling me snake oil, right? There is no ocean of peace. Excuse me. And let me tell you, my spouse has no ocean of peace. So I could be salvaged, but I promise you. And he goes, even a Ravi cannot argue against that. So this is the example that I give. I say, if you watch the ocean, at the surface, the ocean has large waves, very violent waves, right? There could be a storm, and you say, well, the ocean is not peaceful. But if you travel down to the depth of the ocean, if you reach the floor of the ocean, it's completely serene and peaceful. It doesn't matter to the floor of the ocean what is happening on the surface. Our minds, and we live lives where we are held hostage by our mind. Our mind is constantly running and it creates these violent waves. And the problem is, we have lived our life, we have associated our living with the mind and its constant vibrations, right? And it's constant waves. We have associated and we have come to assume that that is who we are, that that's what we are. But that's not who we are. We are the peace at the floor of the ocean. And so then we have to understand is that if I go beyond these waves will keep happening. Because when you live in the world, you're going to face challenges, you're going to face incidents, and that will create the waves. I can never take those waves away. I can never go to the ocean and say, there will never be a storm, so your waves on the surface will be completely calm. That's not going to happen, right? I can never
Sure.
make that happen.
Yeah.
That is
No
against
one.
nature. It will keep
Yeah.
happening. It has to happen. But if we go down beyond the mind, then at the floor we are going to find peace. It exists. It is existing in every one of us. And that, if you think about the purpose of religion, the purpose as I see for religion is to help you calm the mind. Now, you could be someone who doesn't believe in religion and you can still calm the mind. Religion is one way to help you calm the mind. If you go down and if you do community service, you go down to the food kitchen and you cook and you serve the homeless, and you do it
Yeah.
without expectation.
Yeah.
You do not expect them to even thank you. You do not expect them to
Just.
smile. Because if you say, oh, I served this guy
Yeah.
and he didn't even smile back, but that's going to call consternation. But you say it doesn't matter whether they smile back at me or not, whether they say thank you ma'am or thank you sir, doesn't matter. I am going to do my bit and I do it selflessly. And I don't do it because I'm not doing it for social media. I don't stand outside and take a picture and tell my friends I was at the soup
Here I
kitchen,
was. Yeah. Yeah. Here's.
right? Look at
Yeah.
me.
Your face.
I
Here
am
I am. Here
serving.
I look at me. Look how good of a person I am.
Yeah, and then this homeless man is standing, he's hungry, and you say, well, wait a minute, you can wait a few more minutes, let me get the right camera angle as I'm serving you, right? If you do it without expectations, if you do
Yeah.
community service and tell nobody, you don't call your mother and say, look mom, I went and did this. You don't try and impress your kids and say, look kids, take my example. You do community service just for the sake of doing it with no expectations. Guess what happens to your mind? Your problems that exist when you come home, those problems are still there. but you have a little spring in your step.
That's beautiful.
You look at that and you go, yes, problems. Hello, hi, problems. How are you? You're still here. I thought you'd be gone.
I was hoping you'd be gone, but you're still here. That's
Yeah,
great.
but it's all right. You're an unwelcome guest. It's okay. I just had a break from you and I can deal with you a little bit better now because you were getting to me earlier, but now I can deal with you. So, religion and devotion, I should use the word devotion. Devotion can help you calm the mind down. Community service, which is selfless, can calm the mind down. You can do philosophical thinking and analysis. You take a scripture and or it doesn't have to be a scripture, but you can take a philosophical book and you talk about and you think about analyzing the life, right? That can help you calm down. And these three help the mind begin to calm down. But the most superior of all of them is the method of meditation. And I talked about this with Louie the first time. And there is a video that is there on my YouTube channel on my website. But meditation,
HappySoulHungryMind.com. I'm sorry.
no, please, thank you, sir. HappySoulHungryMind.com. Thank you, Louie. We need to all meditate. And meditation is simple, it's easy. We can all do it. I know a lot of people who get scared by it. There is nothing to get scared. You will form the habit, and over time, you will learn to begin to go beyond the mind. And then, as we go beyond the mind, as we go down from the waves, the violent waves, and deeper into the ocean, we begin to experience the stillness that exists in all of us. You have stillness in you right now. You're probably driving somewhere or at work or at home, and you have all these challenges. Your boss is not happy, your kids are not happy, spouse is not happy. Doesn't matter. All those problems are going on, but deep within, you still have stillness. And that stillness is the most beautiful thing that you possess. There is no greater wealth than your own stillness. And so expose yourself, enjoy the wealth that you have been given. Really wake up and enjoy the wealth that you have been given. In my book, when I wrote the introduction for my book, I shared this uh, example. I say, imagine that someone dear to you, say your mother, gave you a gift,
I love
and it's
that.
a
Yeah.
box, and it is covered with very fancy wrapping paper, very nicely decorative wrapping paper. And what you do is you are so mesmerized by the wrapping paper, you spend all the time playing with the wrapping paper and never open the box to see the gift inside. And she has given you a very valuable gift. And you go, well, excuse me, Ravi, could you not have developed a better example?
It's a great,
Because only a child would be just, a toddler is going to play with the wrapping paper and forget what is inside the box. But my friends, Louie's listeners, that is what we all are doing with our life. This material world is just the wrapping paper. We're so consumed by it.
yeah.
The real gift that the universe, God, nature, life has given us is this peace within this stillness. Because when we experience it, when we connect with that peace, then we understand the splendor of life. That is the gift. And guess what? We're not opening the box. So, my friends,
Oh.
Open the box.
Open the box. Open the box.
Open
You
the
are
box.
just such a beautiful human, and I do want to. I would like to maybe next time soon, if you've got the time, talk more about meditation and some of it. But I would again
Yes.
urge people, go to your website. You've got so much information. You've got a lot of videos up on your YouTube channel. Go there, experience it. Get the book and read the book and share it. It makes me think of how they always talked about if you want to, if you're on an airplane and the masks come down, you've got to put yours on first.
Yes.
Even if you want to help you want to help because if you can't, if you're not breathing, obviously you're not going to be, if you're trying to get a child's mask on or
Yes.
someone else's mask on,
Yes.
you're losing oxygen. You've got to first.
Yes.
You want to be good in the world.
Yes.
You need to
Yes.
take care of yourself first.
Yes. You must take care of yourself, because if you say, well, my family members are sick and I have to take care of them, you can take care of them if you're going to be healthy.
If you, you've got
If
to
you fall sick, you cannot take care of them. You will become a burden on the family.
That's right. If you don't eat nutritious food,
Yes.
you're not going to be able to help feed your family if you're not
Yes.
caring for
So
yourself.
you have to do this. You have to become the beacon. It's like the baton, right? I wrote this book and I talked about this last time. Things showed up. They revealed themselves. I was writing the book. Now my job is I'm watching them and they have shown up, right? I look at it and I go, this has shown up. All I need to do is go out and let others know about it. And you have to do the same thing. You are hearing these our discussion that Louie and I are having, and you need to share that. You need to share that with yourself. Very importantly, because your mind needs to listen to that and then help others, right?
Then you can help others if you energize yourself with.
That is all we have to do. And if we start helping each other, because there is, you might think I'm an author, and Louis was kind. He called me extraordinary.
You
And
are extraordinary. Yeah, I'm not going to argue it. I am going to. You are an extraordinary because you want to share it.
I want to share it.
Sure, yeah.
And the thing is, you might think I want to share it because I want to do others a favor. That's absolutely wrong. Guess what? I say this in the book. I say this in the videos. When I talk about these things, who's listening first? It's not even Louis. It's not even you, our listeners. Who is listening first? Me. The words are reaching my ears before they reach anyone else's ears. And so the more I listen to these messages of peace, this spirituality, guess what? They are leaving impressions on me. So you, Mr. Louis, your listeners are doing me a favor by letting me come on and share these things so I can listen. And when you go out and you share, guess what? Who is listening? You don't have to be worried about, well, somebody's listening to you or not.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about whether they're paying attention or whether they value it or not. Because guess what? You are listening. We all have the peace within.
You are extraordinary.
With the peace within.
Ravi, you are extraordinary. You were going to say something. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say this. At your core, you are peace. Be who you are. Be peace. Be peace.
I just love you. You're incredible. I'm gonna be getting in touch with you this afternoon about doing this again soon. If you're again, go to the website, folks. Happy Soul, Hungry Mind. It's so important. And I should say, I want to say, never has there been a time like we need it now, but it seems very clear in the world. Never, we need it. We need it. We've always needed it, but we need it now.
Yes.
and you can access it, and it's there,
Yes.
and it's our gift that we all have.
Yes.
You- Ravi, thank you. I get emotional. Thank you. Thank
No,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a
No, thank
blessing you
you.
are. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's do this. Let's do this again very, 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 very soon, like next
Absolutely.
week. if you
Absolutely.
if you will. Again, you are extraordinary, and the message is so beautiful and so important for people. And next time I want to talk about some of the response that I get and talk more about meditation.
Yes, I would love to hear that. I would love to hear the responses, what people are saying, if this is resonating with them, if
Yeah, we'll do that.
excuse
It's
me.
resonating. Believe me.
Yes.
See,
Uh,
you,
um,
you and me both. Thank
yes, and if it is, if it's simple enough, if people can understand and we can start taking the steps, I would love to hear what they say. Um, this is way too important. There is nothing more important than
I
this.
agree. I agree. Ravi, thank you. Thank you for you. You're extraordinary.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. What an extraordinary human being he is. What a beautiful man. I love talking with him.